Oh, Jordan Peterson, on the other hand, this is some fucking fuego right here.
The reason our eyes are the way they are, they have.
You know, I want to see this new fire fucking girl content. I want to hear relationship advice from a man who's definitely the peak of both of these men are very good at relationships. If I want to know about women, I want to ask the man who is openly on the record for never making his wife come, you know? A man who has openly stated that his wife's pussy is as dry as the fucking Sahara Desert, okay? That's who I want to hear from. I want to know how to make my potential partner in the future less horny. And that's precisely why I'm coming to you, Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapibo, for the best takes, okay? Now, some of you might also say, I want to know how to have an ad-free broadcasting experience, because at 13 minutes in, we're going to have a top of the hour ad break. The answer is simple. Subscribing. Getting a gift sub recipient, becoming a gift sub recipient if you're lucky, or if you're not lucky, by making your own luck and subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. These are the ways that you can avoid the top of the hour ad breaks. That is right. The Dragon of Chaos, a dildo in my wife's hand. Okay, Brianna Nicole gifting 5 people the opportunity to avoid the ass. Thank you. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Let's continue. I got to pee real quick, too.
That's an evolved adaptation so that we can see what.
Wait, what?
Part of the reason our eyes are the way they are, they have whites.
Oh.
That's an evolved adaptation.
Thank you,
so
cute, for the
we
fact
can
that
see what other people's eyes are up to.
Interesting.
And everyone who didn't have visual whites, visible whites, either died or was killed or didn't mate. Right? And so I want to see where you're pointing your eyes, because you're devoting a tremendous amount of cortical energy to that value specification. And if I can see what you're pointing your eyes at, then I know what you value. Then I can mimic your body with my body, and we can fall into the same, what would you say, the same
rhythm.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the same rhythm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And you see that in music, right? Because the musicians are heading towards a note. They all know that. They know when they're going to jump up and down in unison and hit that note.
Right.
And then they can play along the way. The music has a point, or you don't even want to listen to it. And it's so satisfying when they hit that climax all together, right? It's like, we got the point, man.
It's true in relationships too, and I think that as we atomize ourselves in our relationships, I think the relationships break down. That you have to have that rhythm, and you also have to have the ability to.
That's why you dance with your partner.
Yeah, that refusal to acknowledge the differences that you have with your partner. And there's a beautiful thing in the beginning of Genesis. So the phrase that's used when it talks about Eve and Adam is before. So it's really fascinating. I mean, the whole thing is really beautifully symbolic. That Eve never receives a name until after they're kicked out of the Garden of Eden. She's called just the woman.
Bro, I'm literally horny already, dude. Nothing gets me going like Bible study. Nothing gets me going like Bible study. Nothing gets me geared up like learning about relationships, like hearing from the Bible, okay? The most true thing that anyone has ever read, okay? Jesus makes my pussy so wet. You have no idea. Okay? Actually, hypothetically, Adam and Eve or the archetype for the original relationship. That's why, hypothetically, my wife was made from my ribcage.
Until that point, and then he names her, right? He first names her and he says,
r/atheist Hasan. Fuck you mean, dude? If you're talking about interpersonal relationships and you go back to the fucking Bible, then yeah, I'm going to make fun of that. That's not r/atheism.
Right, which is a derivative of ish, which is the same word, just add a hey at the end, because that's how he sees her. She's a derivative of him. She's just an object for him to use.
Oh my God! Wait, I was just joking. He's literally doing that. Oh my God! Oh my God! I was just joking. Oh my God! I literally made that up as a joke. I was like, no one is stupid enough to make that argument, right? And he literally just said that. What the fuck? That is absolutely insane. That is an insane fucking place to go.
And that's why she ends up talking to the snake, because if you're seen as an object by somebody, why would you want to talk with them? You're not an independent human being. And it's only
That's
after...
why you don't want to dance with someone who only has sexual gratification on their mind.
Exactly. And then she sins, they're kicked out, and then he renames her Eve, right? Adam calls her Eve.
Okay, so
because
hold
she's
on.
the mother
so,
of
so
all
the first
of
name
all
is
this living.
given by who? Adam?
Adam. So he's naming all the animals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then it says that...
And that's giving them a reality, a semantic reality.
Right, and then God says none of these partners and Adam can't find a partner.
Right, they're not suitable.
And he says, so I'm going to give you a helpmate.
You need a woman, not a dog, not a pet dog.
Exactly. He says you need a helpmate, but the phrase that's used is ezer kenegdo. So it's translated helpmate.
Yeah.
What it actually means is a helper against you.
Oh.
That's what it actually means in Hebrew. Ezer kenegdo, right?
So there's an adversarial element in there.
Yeah, because what
You know,
what makes
That's right. That's why I always said women are the dragon of chaos. Women be shopping, am I right, Ben? These women, there's an adversarial nature to the relationship. That's why us boys, we must stick together. Us men. Liberate liberate yourselves as men from the shackles of oppression. Stop hanging out with women. Stop it.
a better
this
person
idea
is the
called-
adversarial element.
There's this idea in neurophysiology called opponent processing. It's really cool. So if you want to move your hand really smoothly this way, you can do it like that. But it's nowhere near as smooth as if you do this. You can be absolutely precise. So you really tense this hand against this hand, and then this one relents a little bit. It's absolute precision. And so that adversarial process, you imagine that women and men are slightly different temperamentally, or even quite a bit different. Well, you're trying to hit the mark, but the mark moves. And so how do you hit it? Well, you hit it with this adversarial process. And you do that with kids, and when you're negotiating in the house too. It's like, well, you think this, and I think this.
And that's why when you fundamentally refuse to acknowledge the difference between the sexes, you lose the ezer kenegdo.
I don't understand. So like LGBT relationships are out, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, just boys, sorry. I was just kidding. A relationship with another man, with a man. Well, there's no there's no adversarial nature there, and therefore it's not smooth.
Part of that, you lose that opposition that's necessary.
That's also, see, my wife has a more masculine temperament than me, and she's really low in politeness, which is an aspect of agreeableness, and it makes her quite formidable as a combatant. And sometimes in our life, she'll say things that are so out.
Wait, oh my God. I'm learning so much about the way Jordan Peterson is right now. There's just a multitude of self-reports being unlocked in the JP lore currently.
Outrageous well, it usually makes me laugh. It's like in an intense fight, she'll say like 3 of the worst insults you could possibly imagine, and it'll make me laugh. And it's hard sometimes to deal with her because of this more aggressive element. But it was also something that really attracted me towards her, because she's no pushover, and she's got a kind of a knife-like sense of humor that comes out quite often. And so I really like the combative element to it. And that's part of what keeps a relationship dynamically alive. So that's very cool. So that's the first name?
And so he first calls her Isha and says, because God's going to give her his ezer kenegdo. And then after the whole element with
and he
snake,
okay, so God.
Bro, I'm sorry, but if you watch this, you're never getting pussy, okay? If you're a dude and you're like, on God, I am so fucking horny, like I am down bad. I'm down abysmal. I'm down cataclysmically. I need to fucking learn about how to get bitches. Okay? If that's your attitude and you watch this video, you are literally never, and you deserve to never get laid. Okay? Straight up. Like, can you imagine being like, I need, please, these two are my favorite thinkers. They're my favorite intellectuals, my favorite critical thinkers of all time. And they're going to give me the best relationship advice that I've ever heard. Okay? 34,000 people. No, we're not talking about us. We're joking about this. We're making jokes about this. I'm talking about people in all sincerity that clicked on this video. Okay? The 1 million people since December 18th when this video first came out. The 44,000 people that actually liked this. Okay? Like, it's not even entertaining. That's the worst part about it. It's not even fucking entertaining. Like, I'd rather watch them like QAnon psychos, you know, talk about shit.
Says he's gonna deliver this. What's the word?
ezer kenegdo, right? So it's a helpmate.
Right, but it's an
English,
adversarial partner.
Yeah, the word kenegdo literally means against him. right?
Wow,
It's going to be
that's so
Azer,
cool.
helper, against him, right?
Okay, and then Adam
and then Adam
names
calls her
her
Isha, right? Because says she's flesh of my flesh, she's bone of my
People
bone.
who need relationship advice are losers. No, you probably need relationship advice. Everyone at some point needs relationship advice. It's just who you are going to for this. Like, here's some relationship advice. Practice empathy. Okay, respect your partner. Listen to the desires that they're communicating. Okay, that's relationship advice. On the Nebuchadnezzar, there was Adam and then there was Eve. And Eve's original name actually means Dragon of Chaos. Like, this sucks.
Bone, which is how a man sees a woman when the woman is just an object to him,
Right,
Because
right.
she's mine, right? It's my possessiveness of her that defines her as a human being, and the word woman, just like in English, is a derivative of the word man, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Ish, which is spelled Aleph Yud Shin. It's the same spelling, you just add a hey at the end, and now it's Isha, right? So she's going to be called woman because I'm called man, so she's
She's a secondary derivative.
she's a secondary
of me.
derivative of me,
Right, which is how a man would understand a woman. It's like she's like me except smaller.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And then once she starts to bear children, then he calls her Chava, right, Eve, the mother, which is the same root of life and Chava, right? Chai is the same root. So it's it
Is
means
that
the mother of all.
etymologically related to the word for chaos? Do you know? In Hebrew?
In Hebrew?
Yeah.
Like at
The formless chaos at the beginning of time. Is there a relationship between that and Eve?
Thank you, Hasan Game, for the 5 get the subs.
don't think so. I'd have to check it. But
What are they doing? They're fucking Bible nerds, dude. They're literally talking about. They're just nerds, dude. They're literally. It's like having a conversation with your fucking Magic the Gathering homies about how, like, in order to get laid, I need to, I need to unlock land cards, okay? Like 5 land cards or whatever the fuck you say in Magic the Gathering. I'm forgetting, but it's like turning it into what they do know, okay? And what they do know is just being a fucking nerd about the Bible and about the Torah.
He says she's the mother of all living, and then that's how she's defined. What gives her a meaning is the thing that actually does give women meaning.
I know I got a lot of Magic the Gathering fans. I know.
Is the ability to bear children, which is, of course, what we as a society have decided to deride and pretend is not a superpower and treat as a secondary aspect of femininity when it is, in fact, the primary aspect of femininity. And so it's really, it's quite fascinating, and it's really...
That's why I like Beauty and the Beast. Because I taught a lot about hero mythology to my students, and the women would sometimes come up and say, well, what about the female
Does
heroes?
this motherfucker still teach? I don't think so, right?
I thought, well, that's complicated because you have the image of Mary, and that's pretty maternal, but in Christianity, Christ is also the redeemer of women, and that's an adventurous hero in some sense. It's like, so the female situation is complicated, right? Because there is this adventurous spirit, but it has to be combined with this maternal fecundity, let's say, and involuntarily. Well, what I really liked about Beauty and the Beast, and I do think that's the best Disney movie ever made, was that it's a real female hero myth. I mean, the woman, Beauty, is beautiful, so she's high up in the female dominance hierarchy, but she's witty and well-read and intelligent and adventurous.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast is a perfect female myth because it's a beautiful woman. Important, very important, okay? Because women have to be objects of desire first and foremost, and that needs to be their most important quality. And then secondly, the second most important quality of a woman is like how they can tame a man, right? With their feminine aspect. Totally normal stuff, by the way. I mean, straight up. Isn't that nice, dude?
And brave and courageous and truthful, all of that. And she doesn't fall for Gaston, the psychopathic persona. And young women are much more likely to fall for men like that, by the way, than women who are slightly more, what would you say?
Wait, is this real?
Yeah, wiser. So they'll fall for dark triad.
Did they make a fucking Jordan Peterson explains what it means to be a black woman in America? No shot is this real. Same Energy Black Republicans Committee? No shot. Is that a real fucking... Oh my God, we're going to watch that. We're 100% watching that.
Men, and that's partly how psychopathy propagates itself across the generations. Right? They can be enticed by psychopathic personas. But she prefers the beast. It's like, well, the beast is the adventure. It's like...
I like that. Okay, dude, I'm sorry, but Jordan Peterson is such a fucking lib, dude. He is literally such a fucking lib. This is exactly the same shit that rad libs do, okay? I want a story that's good and promotes good values and promotes the world in the way that I see it, which is good. And then the bad people get their comeuppance, and they can't be bad. They can't be complex individuals. And that's really fucked up. Okay. He's just doing that for conservatism. Okay. Him decrying about, the archetypical stereotypes and the way that they're built in culture now is straight up and pointing to Beauty and the Beast as like the peak, the masterpiece, because it agrees with his like worldview, is straight up the exact same shit. Okay, it's just the other side of the same fucking coin, dude. Oh my lord.
Well, he's this terrible man, like he's rough, he's unhewed, but he's got potential, right? And that's what really attracts her. And she wants someone who can guard the walls and make a safe haven for the children, but who's generous enough who's productive enough to be useful and generous enough to share. Mm-hmm. And so she civilizes him. And that's, you say, well, that's the female hero myth. It's like the civilizing of men is the female hero myth. And the civilizing of nature, in some sense, is the male hero myth.
And to pretend that that's like a secondary pursuit, which is what the society says, that like what we should value is, in a certain way, feminism is a construct of the patriarchy, because
completely, and it's modern, guys, because the notion is, well, the men have got it all right, and all we'd have to do is for women to be more like men.
Right, exactly.
That's your aim. My wife is engaged in a series of discussions with this Jonathan Pajot I mentioned earlier. It's an inquiry into the symbolism of the divine feminine, because we have a real question in our culture. We have a more...
What? I think feminism paired up with capitalism, or white feminism in some respects, does kind of put out those vibes. Okay? But ultimately, it's not, it's not feminism. He reads too much books. I don't understand. It's just like, Hasan agree with Jordan Peterson, confirmed. I mean, this notion that feminism is taking women's femininity away. Saying that feminism is a product of the patriarchy is true. That's dialectics, okay? He's not wrong. Saying that feminism is promoting male-like behavior, on the other hand, is not true. In some ways, you could look at it as, first of all, there's many different kinds of feminism. But unless you're talking about like white feminists or radfems that are pro-capitalist radfems, you're completely missing the mark. What is even male-like behavior? I mean, if you live in a world where, if you've engaged in the world building of Jordan Peterson and the world is supposed to be dominated by men, okay, powerful men that also demonstrate good virtues and are good leaders overall, okay, and that is like the divine and natural way, the natural hierarchy, then yes, women also wanting to have some kind of ownership over that power is ultimately going to be women trying to be like men, because he doesn't live in a fucking world outside of men being the dominant force, men being in the natural order the dominators, okay? That's why he's like, he has this kind of attitude.
Elaborated narrative of, let's say, call it masculine heroism, and a more differentiated sense of masculine totalitarianism as well.
Because it's true, really? You think a world needs to be dominated by men? That's a natural order? Are you fucking stupid? What an insane take.
The female role is still somewhat undifferentiated, and I think that's partly not acceptable anymore because women have control of the reproductive function now. So a lot of this has to become conscious. It can't just happen automatically.
Right. No, I mean, that's right. And so at a time when the virtues of femininity need to be taught more than ever, they're being taught the opposite more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to opt into this feature of humanity where before you didn't have to opt into it. It was going to be forced upon you, right? I mean,
Right,
as long as you were going to engage in sexual activity, you were going to experience the joys of motherhood.
Right.
And you were going to have to play this role. But now you no longer have to, which means that you
Now
actually
you have
to,
choice.
you have to be taught that there's value in the role in order for you to embrace the role.
And you have to be willing to notice that without seeing that as only part of you in your peculiarity and not as something regressive. Somebody clipped something I said and put it on one of those YouTube shorts. It's like 3 minutes long. It's got, I don't know, 8 million views.
The thing I don't understand about this is like when women do embrace, for example, the way that they look, okay, or their sexuality, take matters into their own hands per se, and decide that like I want to look sexy and I want to make money by looking sexy, okay? I'm sick and tired of other dudes that are making money off of me being sexy. These dudes lose their fucking minds. How is that not also in some way, in some aspects, embracing your own femininity? Okay? They hate that shit. They absolutely hate it. It's like, no, I not like that. I meant like, you know, trad cat stuff. Like wear an apron or something, okay? Yeah, embracing your femininity and seeing it as a virtue is by being a housewife to a shitty husband. That's the only way. Also, where is the relationship advice? This is 9 minutes and 11 seconds, and I have yet to hear a fucking crumb of relationship advice, let alone the best relationship advice I will ever hear. They haven't said shit, dude.
Or something, and they called it advice to 19-year-old women. And so what I said in this brief video was that
Jordan Peterson gives the best relationship advice. Feminism is all about men and women being like men. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. If anything, if I'm an incel and I watch this, I click, I watch this, I go, wow, he's really reinforcing my fucking deluded worldview. Thank you, Jordan Peterson. This is great advice. Drowning in pussy now.
okay, so we'll go for another minute, was that I've worked with women as peers my whole life. So I was part of the first generation, I would say, and certainly in my profession in psychology.
What the fuck just
That's
happened?
partly not acceptable anymore because women have control of the reproductive function now. So a lot of this has to become conscious. It can't just happen automatically.
Right. No, I mean, that's right. Until
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
The female role is still different of, let's say, call it masculine heroism, and a more differentiated sense of masculine totalitarianism as well. The female role is still somewhat undifferentiated, and I think that's partly not acceptable anymore because women have control of the reproductive function now. So a lot of this has to become conscious. It can't just happen automatically.
Right. No, I mean, that's right. And so at a time when the virtues of femininity...
I did rewind it on purpose because I was trying to understand if he was literally talking about how women are more in control over their own lives, and that's a negative thing because they have more control over their own reproductive functions. Very strange take. I went the video back.
The opposite more than ever.
Because
you have to opt into this feature of humanity, where before you didn't have to opt into it. It was going to be forced upon you, right? I mean, as long as you were going to engage in sexual activity, you were going to experience the joys of motherhood,
right.
And you were going to have to play this role. But now you no longer have to, which means that you actually have to be taught that there's value in the role in order for you to embrace the role.
And you have to be willing to.
For the record, this is a Jordan Peterism. The whole like women getting reproductive freedom has actually been a major burden on civilized society. We do not know how women act in the workplace. We still don't know. Like, I've heard him say that a million fucking times over about how like the birth control pill has literally like changed women in a dynamic way, made them a lot like men, and all this other shit. And that has allowed more women to enter the workforce, enter the workplace. And that is you know, a potentially dangerous experiment.
to notice that within without seeing that as
Hold on.
only part of you in your peculiarity and not as something regressive. Somebody clipped something I said and put it on one of those YouTube shorts. It's like 3 minutes long. It's got, I don't know, 8 million views or something. And they called it advice to 19-year-old women. And so what I said in this brief video was that, okay, so we'll go for another minute, was that I've worked with women as peers my whole life. So I was part of the first generation, I would say, and certainly in my profession in psychology, there's been a plethora of women, certainly since before I entered the field. So I've worked with women as peers my entire life. And I worked, even before that, I worked in the daycare branch of Alberta Social Services and as a consultant, and that was mostly women too. So, and what I noticed about women, and this I really was struck home to me when I worked with high-end lawyers in Toronto, because I worked with the best law firms in Toronto for 10 years.
Wait, are they getting kicked out when the guy comes over? I thought that was like...
That, okay, so we'll go for another minute.
Oh my God.
I said in this brief
Oh my God.
video was that, okay, so we'll go for another minute, was that I've worked with women as peers my whole life. So I was part of the first generation, I would say, and certainly in my profession in psychology, there's been a plethora of women, certainly since before I entered the field. So I've worked with women as peers my entire life. And I worked, even before that, I worked in the daycare branch of Alberta Social Services. And
Where are they that no one's wearing a mask, by the way? This is kind of weird. This is like a new video, right? I guess Texas? Like no one is fucking wearing a mask at all. It's a set?
as a consultant, and that was mostly women too. So, and what I noticed about women, and this I really was struck home to me when I worked with high-end lawyers in Toronto, because I worked with the best law firms in Toronto for 10 years with their best lawyers. They would send them to me and some other people that were involved in this enterprise, and our deal was, we'll increase the efficiency of your high-end lawyers by 10% in terms of billable hours, but we work for them, not you. And so then I had about 15 of lawyers like this come and see me. They were skeptical to begin with, but we got over that pretty quick. And some of it was management discussion, some of it was strategy, some of it was sorting out their marriage.
Who stalls more, you think, me or Jordan Peterson? Like, at least, like, I go through 700 fucking different takes in an hour because I have, like, ADHD and I'm jumping from, one thing to the other. Whereas I feel as though JP can't even fucking finish one statement. He just has, like, the most insane, convoluted points.
Marriage, work-life balance, like, really depended on the individual, as it should in the therapeutic session. But we had a lot of discussions with the women because the law firms lost all their women in their early 30s. And the story was always the same. So these women who became these top lawyers, they all had the same story. They're hyper-conscientious and very, very smart. So they were top of junior high, top of high school, top of their class in college, went to a great law school, top law school class, they went to a great law firm, and then they walked through the legal ranks till they hit senior partner. No, like blinders on, like conscientious people will have. I'm going to attain up this pyramid. Then they'd hit 30 or so when they hit senior partner, equivalent of tenured professor. And then they woke up and thought, what the hell am I doing here? I'm working like 80 hours a week, 75 hours a week, flat out. Because you don't get to that level unless you're like, we're performing.
Bro, this is, okay, here's the thing. I can't believe this was the point. Jesus fucking Christ. This was literally the fucking point, and I'm losing my mind, okay? Dude, what you're talking about, what you're describing is literally just burnout that happens to both men and women under capitalism. It doesn't actually, oh my God, his face is so funny. I'm losing it. He's literally pogging. Pog! Poggers! I'm pogging every time I think of a woman leaving the workplace to go back to her traditional roots. Okay. This is so stupid. He literally is saying that like women experience burnout and then leave the workforce, and that burnout is caused by their desire to have children and become a traditional wife. And it's like, so why the fuck do men have burnout? Burnout in academia got nothing to do with capitalism, to be honest, but he's not just talking about academia. So why the fuck do men experience burnout then? Because they want to go home and become trad dads? Is that what it is? Is that why? Or it's because they're fucking forcibly feminized by microplastics and also watching pornography.
And you get a call at 2 a.m. from some client in China who's got a corporate merger. It's like you're awake and on it.
Right.
And you put that on top of everything, or you don't get paid $750 an hour. And you say, well, that's the patriarchy. It's like, no, it's not. It's the market.
That was it. That was it, dude. That was awesome. That was fucking dope. That was incredible. I am going to get laid so hard after this. Oh my fucking Lord. What an incredible fucking video. Wisdom from two giants can make even the smallest of men become mighty. Thank you, Ben and Jordan, says the roommates. What kind of fucking content did these dorks put out?
Yo, what's good?
Dude, this is literally the Joe Rogan JRE thumbnail. Like they're just doing the JRE thumbnails, huh? This is great, man. This is actually great. Peterson stands. Yeah, we saw this before. Two of the greatest minds of our time. What an empire these men have built. Thanks for sharing the trip to Montreal. Joe Rogan looks deranged in this too. It's just fucking even funnier. Is Hasanabi the smartest dumb person on Twitch or the dumbest smart person on Twitch? I'm just a dumbass, dude. I'm nothing. My brain is mush now reading that comment. So the advice is that, you know, you should be able to cream pie women. Okay? The advice is that you should be able to cream pie women because they are supposed to be subservient and submissive as dictated by the Bible. And contemporary examples of that subservience being the natural predisposition of women come from Jordan Peterson's anecdotes of women being upset and experiencing capitalist burnout in the workplace. There you go. That was the advice. I just gave you the fucking literal 2-minute answer, or not even 2-minute, like the 30-second summarization of that entire video. And that is psychotic. And I swear to God, you will never get girls if you listen to that. And that just, the only thing that does is reinforce your psychotic, idiotic, patriarchal, misogynistic fucking values to begin with. Even if you actually do end up finding a woman like that who agrees with that point of view, because of the inherent attitudes that you have towards women as being lesser than you, okay, that you try to justify by saying, no, I'm not saying they're lesser than. I'm simply stating that they're different, okay? If you straight up fucking believe that shit, you are never going to be in a healthy relationship. And the reason why you'll never be in a healthy relationship is because you are always going to treat women as inferior to you because you're seeking content that justifies that kind of attitude. Okay? Deep down inside, that is what you believe. And reading Bible verses or listening to two fucking dickweeds talk about it in the exact same capacity is not going to change that for you. The reason why you're having bad relationships is because you don't respect women, okay? You don't look for a partner in crime. That's what you're not doing. That's what you should be doing. Okay? Madison Cawthorn's divorce just went from boring information to security concern in 70-second interview with Daily Caller. Okay, this does not sound like a meet cute story whatsoever. Very few of these stories involving Russia are. So I didn't realize what this fucking account was because this seems like psychotic. It seems like fucking Lebanon. You know what I mean? Not the country, like liberal QAnon. But let's take a look.
And so we took the risk to do that surgery. And so when I decided to do that, I said, well, doctor, let me go on one last trip just in case I'm not going to be able to ever get on an airplane again. And then, so he said, okay, and you'll be in a lot of pain. I said, it's worth it. So me and a bunch of my friends, we went to, we got to go over to, very close to Russia. Went to Sweden and Norway, and we had just an incredible vacation. It was great. I was in a lot of pain the whole time, but it was wonderful. But then we got on a boat and went into St. Petersburg in Russia. And, we just decided to take $100 each and go into a casino and see how it went. And, I ended up meeting an American there who was a captain in the Army and who was originally from Miami. And so we hit it off, created a really great relationship, and stayed in contact for about a year and a half until later I was down in Miami for work. And he texted me and said, hey, would you like to come compete in a CrossFit competition? And so I laughed and said, well, Todd, I'm in a wheelchair. I obviously can't do CrossFit. And he said,
oh, this is a he. What the fuck? What? They're saying that, like, Madison Cawthorn is gay for this Russian spy or something? What the fuck, dude? This sucks.
well, just do the pull-up section. I was like, okay, sounds good. And so I show up. But anyways, it all was a sham. It was a fake CrossFit competition. He just wanted me to put me in the same room with the girl who is eventually going to become my fiance. And so we did, and her and I hit it off, and it's been a magical relationship ever since.
Oh, that is sus. What the fuck? Look up the University of Toronto faculty page. No, I don't care about that. It's kind of weird, dude. It's not a honeypot, though. It's a little weird, though. Okay. Alex Jones, this is an emergency Christmas Day warning to President Trump.
Is an emergency Christmas Day warning to President Trump. You are either completely ignorant about the so-called vaccine gene therapy that you helped ram through with Operation Warp Speed, or you're one of the most evil men.
He makes it sound like the Sweden to Russia is a quick little trip. Just the hop on the ferry from Sweden to put $100 on black in St. Petersburg. Totally normal 18-hour side trip with your buddies on a lark. I think the reason why he's hiding that is because he was fucking, scared to admit that he wanted to go to Russia or some shit, which is, again, the brain rot that Americans fucking have. It's like, oh, you went to Russia? You must have been doing something bad in Russia. Like, that's probably why he was like, yeah, I was in Stockholm and I wanted to go to St. Petersburg or whatever the fuck. Hasan is in Big Russia's pocket? Yeah. I'm sorry. How dare you? Did I not literally did I not end World War III like last week? What the fuck? I saved Ukraine, bro. What do you mean? I said, Vladimir Putin, you stop. And he did. He watches the stream. Okay, I feel like that reinforces the suspicions that you have that I'm a Russian spy, but I'm not. He did that. He literally did that, okay? So, chill out. Vladimir Putin is a fan of mine. That's right. Anyway, let's watch this.
Who has ever lived to push this toxic poison on the public and to attack your constituents when they simply try to save their lives and the lives of others. We're about to lay out the basic, incontrovertible facts that what you told Candace Owens just a few days ago
Spit it, King.
is nothing but a raft of dirty lies.
And we say
this is an emergency Christmas Day.
Let's go, dude. Alex Jones is very upset at Trump. He's been upset at Trump, though. It's not new, so. Should we watch this? This is what a sociopath is like. Bro, you low-key fell off after you stopped watching MasterChef. No, we're going to finish season 2 MasterChef today. Don't worry. Vladimir Putin resigned from KGB. Needed another agent capable. Founded Hasan. That's why he's fully trained. Yeah. Tim Dillon lightly pushes back on Joe Rogan's my friend tactic about the vaccines. Wait, really? Wait, interesting. That's cool. Let's watch this one little piece.
Stroked out in a Walgreens.
After the vaccine?
My friend just almost stroked out in a Walgreens.
After the vaccine?
They shot him up, and then.
But I don't know any of these. It's
they
weird.
Give you 15 minutes.
All my friends are horribly unhealthy. They're all comedians, but none of them have had a stroke.
Well, this guy, it took his booster just last week.
Yeah.
And within 15 minutes, they had to take him to the hospital. His heart started racing and pounding, and he's freaking out, and he couldn't breathe, and he had to lie down, and then they took him off in an ambulance.
And this is a dude you just...
Yeah, it's a guy I know from L.A.
Yeah. Not good.
Not good.
Yeah, none of my friends have. That's the most pushback you're gonna get from fucking Tim Dillon on Joe Rogan, though. It is surprising that he even brought that up. So he had a panic attack after.
Yeah, it's a guy I know from L.A.
Yeah. Not good.
Not good. Out, and he couldn't breathe, and he had to lie down, and then they took him off in an ambulance.
So your friend, who probably is like over the top terrified of fucking getting vaccinated. I wonder why, by the way. Over the top terrified of getting vaccinated, had a fucking panic attack after getting vaccinated. Maybe you should stop fucking freaking your friends the fuck out, you know? So they don't literally have a panic attack when they get vaccinated. You know? I see it seems like that's one way to stop that from happening is you know, just don't freak them out. Like I tell you at the top of the hour there's an ad break and I don't freak you out over it, right? I serve it to you gently. So you're not trained to fear the ad break. I tell you that if you no longer want to see the ads also, that you can just subscribe. You can be gifted a gift sub, okay, if you're lucky, or just subscribe on your own for $5, or if you don't have $5, subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime, right? And that way you'll have an ad-free broadcasting experience. I do want to watch this Millionaire Goes Homeless to prove anyone can make $1 million video. It's like been fucking sitting on the backside of my brain. So we're definitely going to get into that right now. Here's the 1 minute ad break right now.
Today's been really tough. This is my bench right here. Gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
This is Mike Black, the millionaire who went homeless, with the goal to make $1 million from nothing in only 12 months, while documenting the entire journey online for everyone to see.
I'm cutting off my entire network. I'm draining my bank account to $0. I'm leaving behind my 7-figure business, putting all my belongings in storage, and I won't even have a place to live.
This is the $1 million comeback.
Did you know the project is gonna be like this?
No, everything was a curveball. This is my one pair of clothes that I'm taking with me. I have a cell phone and I have a backpack with camera gear. The keys are officially turned in. The project has started. Now I gotta figure out what the f to do.
What Mike didn't know at the time was that this was going to be the toughest year of his life. But why did he decide to do it?
I'm gonna try to panhandle and make a couple bucks. Not worried.
Cell phone? Yeah, homeless people have cell phones, weirdos. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Yeah. First of all, okay, here's what I got to point. Here's what I got to point out here. First of all, like, there is 0% chance. I mean, less than 0% chance. There's negative chance that this is real. Okay, like full blown real. Like he actually was just like straight up living the homeless like or vagrant lifestyle. Okay, no fucking shot. One immediate takeaway that I find rather funny is that like, can you imagine just like, you know, doing tourism for a fucking year, like experiencing homelessness for a year for funsies? Okay. And also, actually, that's it. That's just, I don't believe this at all.
Worried about food at all. I can go a couple days without eating. Hey, how are you? I was wondering, do you have any like water cups by any chance? Finally, someone nice enough to give me some water.
See, it was the beginning of 2020 and countless people had lost everything. And he wanted to be a living example that you can make a comeback even at your lowest point. But could he really reach $1 million in 12 months again?
Everything I tried didn't work. I did have someone message me on Craigslist that said they'll give me $100 if I let them. I started thinking like, I'm gonna be sleeping on the streets a lot longer than I thought. I don't know if I can do this. All right, so it's 11 o'clock. Didn't make any money. My bench right here that I'm gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
But there was no going back now. He he had publicly committed all over social media, hired an entire production team, and this was about something bigger than just himself.
The goal of the project is to help as many people as possible.
So giving up was never an option.
He forgot to take off his whiteness? Shut up. That doesn't mean anything in this situation. If you're fucking homeless, being white or black, like, yeah, being black increases your chances of experiencing police brutality, but you're still fucked, okay? That's ridiculous. Come on. The point is he has a fucking camera crew around him. This is reality television. It's not real.
But things took a turn.
Something amazing happened.
LMAO, he really did it. He sucked one. Stop, dude. Stop. Okay. Whatever you say, dude, you're crazy. Like, what are you gonna fucking go talk to white homeless people about white privilege? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Jesus Christ, dude. I'm sorry, that's like insane. You're an insane person. The only people that white homeless people are more privileged than are black homeless people, okay? That's like, you know, they're pretty fucked regardless. Holy shit, dude. Jesus Christ. Like, what are you talking about? But the point is, he's not homeless, okay? That's the fucking point. He's not actually homeless.
Out of nowhere, like, this kid hit me up and said, like, hey man, you can crash here. Offered to drive 30 minutes to pick me up.
Oh no, he's gonna
really
get murdered.
Emotional how nice of an act this was. I promise you I will repay you for all of this.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you don't have to, but
just thank you so much.
Of course.
This is the RV that I slept in last night.
Now this was a short window of opportunity to get back on his feet.
I still have one pair of clothes. Look how gross this is. Now I get to put these boxers back on.
So he had to make some money, but this time he had a plan.
What I started doing is just taking ads on Craigslist in the free section, putting it on Facebook Marketplace, and selling it for a profit. I acted as the middleman, handling all the logistics between the buyer and the seller.
And it worked.
I just sold my first couch for $100.
Although this was literally only 0.01% towards the final goal, with that he was finally able to buy some clothes, some decent food after not eating for days, and most importantly, deodorant.
I hate this more than anything else, okay? Hey, homeless people, just fucking resell people's trash, okay? How did he find this RV? How did he randomly stumble upon a person who just, you know, offered him a place to live? There is so much going on here that, like, again, that we're just like pushing past. I need to understand, like, homie, how are you in the shower right now? How did he get a phone and the internet? No, like, you can have a phone. A lot of homeless people have phones. Most homeless people still have fucking phones, okay? And they can get internet off of like Starbucks or whatever the fuck. That's fine. That's not that crazy. The crazy part about this is like him being able to shower, him having shelter, okay? When you're fucking homeless, like the number one problem is a home, shelter, okay? So homie was out one night and was like, oh man, what the fuck are we gonna do? And he's like, okay, never mind. I just found this RV magically, okay? So that, he fundamentally eliminated the largest problem of being homeless, which is not having a fucking home and a shower, okay? So, hey, you know what this video only proves? You want to eradicate homelessness? Give them fucking homes. That's it. That's literally it. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. You want to eradicate homelessness? Give them private homes that they can live in and shower in, okay? Boom. Homelessness fucking eradicated. Didn't need, 360 other days to figure out how to fucking deal with it. Day 2 and this motherfucker dealt with it already. Woo! Let's go. We solved it, dude. We fucking solved it. Most people without homes couch surf. The majority of people without homes don't live on the street. Oh, thank you for describing to me, of all fucking people, how the tier system of homelessness. I know, dumbass. I know. That doesn't change the reality, though, okay? Because they ultimately get to that level, okay? That is the problem. We're talking about people who are couch surfing or living out of their fucking cars, okay? Couch surfing, you still have a fucking shower. That's the first tier of homelessness. How many times have I talked about this? But then you move on to your car if you have a fucking car. And that is when you are no longer of a home. You don't have a fucking shower. You don't have anything anymore. This guy eliminated the biggest fucking problem of homelessness, which is not having a home.
On day 3, he made a...
This guy's a hack, but gyms provide showers. I know that, chatter. I know. Except the difference is when I'm in fucking New York, okay, and I want to hop in a quick shower, I have a fucking Equinox membership and I can do that. When you're a homeless person, you can't figure out what gym is going to be like. Yes, why yes, homeless person with $0 in your bank account. Please step right into our fucking shower and take a nice hot one, dude.
Whopping.
Why are you homeless? Just buy a house? No, I'm saying homelessness could be eradicated by offering homeless people a home and showers, okay? That's what the government's supposed to do. And guess what? That's what the government actually does do in places where we're not fucking psychotic, vulturous, capitalist freaks.
$250 flipping more couches.
Hey Mike, what do you got there? That's a nice computer. Yeah, that's just a brand new used Chromebook. I'm gonna take that.
Oh, it's just not working.
I hate this.
But Mike had to figure out...
I fucking hate this so much. Oh, whoa, Mom, you okay? Ooh, you made me... Oh, wow. Okay. Evet. Bana şeyi getirir misin? Halal guys, hot sauce with the Damn. Fire. Thank you, Mom. Woo. Bro, this is great fire. Dude, quick tip, pro tip, dude. Okay? Have a mom. Great. Got me loaded, dude. Look at this. Salads. Sorry to flex, everybody, but goddamn. All right, let's keep going.
Out how to get his own place, because Isaac, the guy who helped him on day 1 and now lived with in the RV, still had no idea about the project and who Mike really was, because he was going undercover as Scott, so he wouldn't get any extra help. If Isaac found out, Mike would have to cut off contact, which is one of the many rules he set up for the project, and then he'd be back on the streets again. So he had to get more Benjamins into his bank account.
I applied to 10 different jobs in one night, and the next day I woke up and I had 3 interviews.
So he spent the last $40 he had to join a co-working space where he could use much better computers and start trading time for money. Even if that means working as a telemarketer for only $10 an hour.
$25 an hour working for a law firm is a virtual...
Bro, again, notice how everything changed when he actually got a place to be able to live, and the homie literally offered him permanent housing. Notice how this isn't about fucking homelessness at all, because the fundamental flaw of homelessness is, or the fundamental problem of homelessness is being devoid of a home, and now he actually literally does have a fucking house, okay? When people talk about homelessness being like couch surfing and whatnot, okay? That's true. That is true. That's absolutely correct. I agree. Except when we think about homeless people, we're not thinking about people that are fucking couch surfing, okay? We're thinking about the people literally living in fucking on the street, okay? We're talking about those people. Now, there's also another underlying problem here. The background that this motherfucker has, okay? Remember what I've always told to you about rich people and how being rich or coming from an affluent family does not mean, like, the advantages of coming from an affluent family do not show itself in the form of a fucking trust fund or when your parents die and you get fucking money because they died and they left you like this fat, television show style inheritance. It comes from the fact that your spawn point and your affluent beginnings, and this is something I talk about with my own personal experience, come from the educational opportunities that you've gotten, okay? Come from, oh shit. Anne! Muammara is gone. It's moldy. Oh, yeah, we got to throw this out. I can't even use this fork.